About a decade has passed since the end of Dragon Ball GT. However, even without Goku on Earth, or even in the mortal realm for that matter, there seems to still be this constant threat of danger. Obviously, the universe doesn't stop with or without Goku. However, one of the reasons he's always been fine leaving the Earth if he has to is because our Super Saiyan hero seems to always be a magnet for this sort of trouble. One day, Goku has to return though, but as I said, life must go on, and it has indeed for the other Z fighters. When we last left off in Dragon Ball Next Gen, it seemed like all continues to be well in the world of the Z fighters, as we see Goten and Trunks now much older, having picked their training back up since they've been slacking off in the absence of danger. Vegeta, on the other hand, sat in his own fury of still not being able to catch up to Goku. Training every day in and day out, Vegeta still lacked something that Goku didn't, something that constantly separated him, and even after all of this time, he still couldn't compare in terms of power, still having to gain assistance in using Super Saiyan 4. Even beyond that, while Goku flaunts near complete mastery of all of his forms, Vegeta is still, even after the events of Dragon Ball GT, only able to reach his highest controlled form, being Super Saiyan 2. While this still may be quite the dilemma for him, nothing has ever stopped Vegeta in the past from achieving his goals. In a matter of seconds, however, the aura of peace surrounding the Earth is soon shattered by the appearance of a very unfamiliar threat. Upon the arrival of Vegeta, Trunks, and the others, the Z fighters now inspecting the area of the crash landing come across a very odd looking individual sitting in the middle of the wasteland. Silent and motionless as he may be, this man, or alien rather, doesn't appear to be much of a threat at first, but the sheer magnitude of his power is staggering. As Gohan arrives, the strange being finally begins to speak as he explains that his name is Dystopian and he is a one-of-a-kind being created by those still yet to be named. However, his only purpose is to roam the galaxy from planet to planet in search of the most powerful fighters. In exchange for sparing the planet and their lives, Dystopian states that they must produce their strongest fighter. If they win, then they must take his life, but if they are to lose, then he will eliminate all of them. Right away, Vegeta is more than obliged to engage Dystopian in battle, but Gohan is much more cautious as he warns them all that since his power was awoken and more or less changed by the Elder Kai, he's able to get a slightly different understanding of a being's ki. And this guy is harboring some seriously dark energy within him. Since it doesn't look like Dystopian will pressure the Z-Warriors into fighting immediately, the plan instead, however, will be for Vegeta and Trunks to head back to Capsule Corp in order to get the Blitzwave machine, while Gohan and Goten hold him off here just in case. Within only a few moments of observation though, Gohan has deduced that this guy is far more powerful than any of them, and that's without considering if he still has any sort of power up. For them to even stand a chance, they're going to need the absolute strongest form of Vegeta that he can muster, so the Blitzwave machine is required. However, upon Vegeta and Trunks attempting to leave, Dystopian begins preparing an attack condensed enough to wipe out the entire solar system, as he tells them escape will not be tolerated, and orders them to return within 4 hours or else this entire side of the galaxy will be wiped out. 3 hours and 58 minutes remain for Trunks and Vegeta to return before destruction begins. However, as soon as they leave, the two are met with yet another unknown enemy. Vegeta will soon be forced to not shortcut his way to awesome power as he realizes once more just what he's fighting for in Dragon Ball Next Gen. So if you guys want to check out this fan manga for yourselves, the link to the original story will be down below in the description box, so be sure to go give it a look. Also, if you guys haven't already, be sure to have that notification bell turned on to never miss an upload. And if you are enjoying the content, consider leaving a like on this video as well. Also, be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball related content. But without further ado, as the mysterious, masked, almost bionic looking assassin stands before Vegeta and Trunks, he is currently cutting into the limited time they have left to get back to Dystopian. Not a word is spoken from this guy at first either, but he makes no hesitation to attack them unprovoked as he raises his hand and prepares to release a devastating blast. Trunks, run, Vegeta shouts, but the bionic assassin spares no time in launching his attack in the form of a ginormous energy wave that looks to engulf both Vegeta and Trunks. What was that? Vegeta says as the smoke clears, and we can see that looks as if he actually took the brunt of the attack in order to protect Trunks. Looks like a little warm-up has been planned for us, he says. Greetings, Saiyans, a voice pierces through the battle, taking both Trunks and Vegeta off guard, as we then cut to see an elderly looking man resembling a mad scientist almost. Finally, he erupts. I've finally been able to strike after all of these years of waiting. For years I've been waiting to complete my extraordinary Android X and destroy your entire race. You think that my brother was better than me, he goes on? I am the great successor of my family, and I will be the creator of your destruction. You cannot simply get away with killing my brother, but even more, you won't escape me. Dr. Addis Gero, the slayer of the Saiyans. Wait a second, Trunks says. Gero? You mean like Dr. Gero? The one that created those androids in Cell? So it seems like Gero actually did have family and a brother nonetheless who seemed to be on a similar path as him. My brother was a complete failure, the doctor goes on. His machines were also useless and weak. I'm much better than he was. Well, how fascinating, Vegeta cuts in. Another old man that likes playing with toys. There's just one thing bothering me in this whole little story of yours, however. I do not like weaklings who do surprise attacks, Vegeta says, now standing behind the doctor. Wait, you can't! But Vegeta is done with the games as he blasts the doctor in the back of the head, killing him indefinitely. In doing so, Vegeta speculates that the android standing before them may go berserk, which seems to be the case as it starts making sounds akin to malfunction. The android begins charging towards Vegeta at full speed, who immediately resorts to Super Saiyan 2 in order to clash. Time is being chipped away at for the Z-Fighters as back at the main battlefield, Dystopian maintains a constant glare on Gohan and Goten, who have no idea of Vegeta and Trunks' predicament due to their opponent being an android. Vegeta continues his onslaught against his opponent, however something isn't right here, as Trunks sees it as well. This isn't how his father fights. Why is Dad suddenly like this, Trunks thinks to himself. Is this what Mom told me he used to be like? No, something is wrong here. That's not anger. Father is afraid. I can see the fear in his eyes. I never knew my father could be afraid of something in this life. Vegeta's attacks, while consistent, have done seemingly no damage to the android, who appears out of the smoke without a scratch, delivering a devastating punch to Vegeta. The android then goes on the offense, showing the decisive power gap between he and Vegeta, eventually crushing him to the ground below. Is that all you got? Vegeta struggles to say as he's lifted by the head by his opponent. I'm still breathing. Got anything better than that? How about we get past the games then, Vegeta says, as something within him completely snaps at this point. How about we start fighting for real now, he screams as his power erupts back to life. On the brink of defeat, with everything on the line at this point, Vegeta's life has culminated into this one moment. As his power explodes, the shockwaves are too much for even Trunks as he says that there's no way this could be his dad. But why is this energy so familiar? The words spoken by Dystopian in the previous chapter, completely fleshing out Vegeta's past actions that he forcibly suppressed to the back of his mind, still ring in the prince's head. How? What did I do to deserve this? What have I done? I'm sorry, Mother, Vegeta says as the images of his mother haunt his thoughts. The murder of Vegeta's mother in his later years is probably the single most thing tormenting Vegeta, as we see the images of his mother completely shatter under the weight of his raging emotions as he calls out, I miss you. I need you, Mother. Please forgive me, Vegeta says as we cut back to the conscious world and see that Vegeta's eyes have gone blank and a devastating aura consumes the battlefield. What was that? What happened? Trunks says as the entire battlefield was consumed by Vegeta's raging energy, obstructing his view. Vegeta has finally done it. On his own, through his own means, Vegeta has finally completed his transformation. His appearance, his aura, his strength, all of that changed forever. What? Impossible, Trunks says. Dad was never able to put out this much energy before. He was never able to put aside his pride for this type of form, so how? No, this is different. This form is much different from Goku's. It looks almost incomplete even, but that still doesn't explain this ridiculous energy. Wait, maybe that's it, Trunks continues. Maybe Dad possesses the power and being a full-blooded Saiyan on top of that, he goes on. What he was always missing for this was the inner peace and the pure heart. Did he find one of the two? Or, wait, could it be? When we see Vegeta, his inner turmoil, which he finally reconciled with, has produced this, his own version of Super Saiyan 3 with glaring differences in appearance from what we know. However, the power is still very much the same. What is this? Vegeta says, confused at his own transformation. It feels strange. In the blink of an eye, a fist is blocked as we see the android has chosen to continue the fight instead of waiting on Vegeta. However, this isn't the same Vegeta as before. That's your second surprise attack today, Vegeta says after effortlessly blocking the punch. Big mistake. However, I would like to test my new power on you now. Vegeta then, with a single punch, decimates the android, caving his entire face in and sending him flying through a mountain, obliterating that in the process as well. As the android soars through the sky, however, Vegeta instantly appears overhead, showing speed beyond impressive, blasting the android with another critical attack. The android roars back to life with a counterattack, but Vegeta in his new pseudo Super Saiyan 3 form is more than ready to deflect the ginormous blast this time. Vegeta continues pummeling the android, eventually grabbing him by the neck and bashing the robot's face even more, wearing down most of his armor. As the android's armor begins to fall to the ground, however, Vegeta's final punch is blocked surprisingly as he says, "Oh, what's this?" The android once again begins making those incomprehensible sounds, but this time, his own power roars back to life, indicating that even a machine is capable of concealing their real power. "Now this is what I'm talking about," Vegeta says with a smirk on his face now. So the Tin Man decided to finally stop playing around and actually start fighting. Show me all you have then, as the preliminary battle continues with the clock slowly ticking towards imminent demise. Vegeta's suppressed memories of killing his own mother have been put on full display by the Scanos, causing his emotions to run rampant and forcing him to address his own sins within him. Doing so seems to have had an unexpected effect on him, as in his later years, Vegeta has finally purified himself to some degree, allowing him to get one step closer to Goku. A pure heart and inner peace, as we know, are a few of the prereqs for awakening Super Saiyan 3, and while Vegeta has since come to terms with the sins of his past, he continues to distinguish himself from Goku in his journey to surpass him in every way possible, even revolutionizing a form he himself never achieved before in Super Saiyan 3.